What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rattlesnake TV. Today, I'm going to be breaking down a date, or a debate rather, between Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit and Chian Reynolds from Standout TV. Now, for those of you who haven't watched the Fresh and Fit podcast, it's two guys based out of Miami that do a bunch of different shows, but what they're most famous for is having panels where they have a bunch of girls come on and they speak about intersexual dynamics. And Myron is a guy who, say what you will about him, he is absolutely unfiltered and incredibly entertaining to watch and spits a lot of facts. Let's get into the clips.
Hey, what's up? How are you?
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Myron,
you.
pleasure to meet you.
Myron.
You gonna give me a hug or what?
Oh, okay, hug. Nice to meet you.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Chilling.
You smell nice.
Thank you. I try.
He made me hug him. I don't know why I'd done that.
Like, why wouldn't you just stand up in the first place? Is it just me, or is that a really weird thing to do? Like, if I was about to meet a girl on a date and she got there first and was just sitting down and didn't greet me with a hug, that would be an instant red flag.
I've interviewed almost 1,600 women now at this point, and I would say, without a shadow of a doubt, women are absolutely terrible at understanding what it takes to be attractive to women as a man. So their advice typically is not good at all.
1,600 women. Poor women. Men carry like a lot of like hurt and they push it on women.
Okay. Hurt in what way?
Yeah, I think it's because, like, for example, this incel culture, which, like, respectfully, like your podcast really brings to life. You're just projecting onto women unnecessarily. Because there's a lot of good women. Like, I myself would say I'm a good woman. I don't do anything wrong. I'm very loyal. I'm a kind woman. And a lot of men will make the assumptions because of podcasts like yours and people and men like you to then push that onto me, that I'm this kind of woman. I'm a gold digger and I'm this and that, and I'm not.
Well, the reality is, would it be fair to say that most men, I mean, you said there's a whole incel culture, etc. Would it be fair to say that most guys are losers and don't really measure up?
I personally don't think that. But
keep it 1,000.
No, but I'm saying
keep it 1,000.
No, I personally don't. Like, genuinely, I don't.
I think it goes on both parts. Okay, the men are weak, and the women, there's a bunch of issues there. So what we basically highlight on our podcast is you need to be the best version of yourself. And I think the thing is that guys are yearning for this because we've been lying to men for the better part of 5 to 6 decades about what being masculine and strong actually is. We've been demonizing it when in reality, guys need to become stronger. Because no woman wants a weak man, even though girls say dumb shit like, oh, well, you know, I want you to be emotionally intelligent and get in tune with your feelings or whatever. It's all a lie. Oh, see. Okay.
No, but I personally would like a man that's emotionally available and emotionally intelligent, but it's not me saying, like, I want you crying all the time. So, do you know what I mean? It's true, though. Like, so I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, you have to give some room for men because, like, men's mental health is a serious, like, issue.
We tell guys not to be vulnerable in front of your girl. You know, you go ahead, you're going to be vulnerable, you're going to shed a tear, whatever. You do that around other men that understand, you know, the male experience. Women don't understand the male experience at all. And it goes to show, like when I said earlier, when you put the girl in a male perspective, I want you to pick up this girl. They always fall flat on their face because women are in a privileged position where they don't have to necessarily understand what it takes to attract a man because men come to them.
For me, as a partner, I would want to be able to give my man a safe space to be able to be vulnerable. And it's like, but not completely like, oh my God, cry all the time. But just so he knows, like, it's like things are okay.
I really can't stand when girls like this act like they're so worried about men's mental health. I guarantee you, you don't know the first thing about men's mental health. She would only associate with top tier guys. Billy from down the road who works at the gas station and plays Fortnite is invisible to her. When she's talking about men's mental health, she's referring to her inner yearning to be able to be with an alpha guy who occasionally lets her in. Because that's the ultimate female fantasy.
You know, like, it's supposed to be a partnership.
No, it's not a partnership.
Why
That's another common lie in modern day dating. It's not a partnership.
But I want a partnership, though.
Question for you. Do you want a man that's taller than you? Idealistically speaking?
Ideally, probably, because I like to wear heels. I like to be seen.
Fantastic. Do you want a guy that's stronger than you?
Yeah.
Do you want a guy that makes more money than you?
I'm not fussed about money.
Okay. Well, you want it to make at least your equivalent, if not preferably better. Remember, this is your ideal guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want a guy that's more confident than yourself?
Yeah.
More experienced than yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, you basically described the superior. So you expect this guy to come in and have a partnership with you?
Whatever he might excel on, I'll also add value in other ways. Because it's not always about being physically on par with that person just for certain requirements. Like, you can't birth a baby. You know,
yeah,
like that.
but
so we complement each other in other ways, and so we're still equal in that sense.
Men and women are not equal at all. At all. That's another fallacy that we have in modern day dating culture, which leads so many women astray. We're not the same. There's certain things that men can do that women can't do, and vice versa. And we're different, and we're designed to complement each other. And I don't believe in partnerships. I think men come in and lead, women follow. And I find it funny because women typically want a man. And here's the thing: what you just described is what every girl wants. But they think that they're going to go into a relationship with a guy that's better than them in every single metric, and it's going to be an equal partnership or 50-50. It doesn't work that way. There's always a leader. There's always a decider. And for it to work, the man's got to be in a leadership role, never the woman. Women can't lead anything.
Yeah, we can.
No,
It creates too much pressure on you as a man then. Because if you want to be this like macho man, do you not think that's going to cause a lot of strain on a relationship?
Pressure creates diamonds. Because here's the thing, women are just the cherry on top. Like you should have already built the cake by the time she comes into the picture. You know, you should have already conquered a boardroom or conquered some kind of physical labor, or played sports at some point in your life, endured some kind of stress. Like, men need to go through pain. Men must become. Women are, men must become.
And this is another thing about men and their emotions. Once a man gets to a stage where he's done those things, he's conquered the boardroom or conquered some sort of a sport and become as a man, he's going to be in a position where he's much more in control of his emotions. And crying is just something that happens maybe every blue moon or so. Maybe if a close family member dies or something. And I mean, he just pointed out to her, she is a woman who wants a man who's superior to her in all of the ways that he listed. Most definitely in terms of your value as a human being, you'll be equal. But I'd be interested to know, because she doesn't actually say, like, if she wants a 50-50 partnership with a guy like that, who's obviously going to be at the absolute highest echelons of society, what is she going to bring to the table? Because if she thinks her career and money and the fact that she's going to challenge him, then I think that she's maybe a bit misguided about what that kind of man would be after.
I think it's important for young men to grow up, like, struggling.
Yeah.
I think it builds character. You have to do it.
How will you raise a son with your mindset? I'm just curious to know.
I would raise my son to not be a victim. You know, I'm at a point now where very successful financially, but my son would not see any of this money at all. I would make him get it out the mud because, like we discussed before, trust fund babies typically don't know what to do in life and how to, you know, they don't understand and appreciate the value of a dollar. And I thank my dad for instilling that in me early. I mean, my first job was at McDonald's and I got fired. And I quickly learned that I didn't want to be in the service industry, but it made me appreciate people in the service industry.
100% true. I mean, one of the things that I'm most grateful about is the fact that my parents made me work the day I turned 14 and 9 months, which was the legal working age in Australia at the time. My mum made me get a job that day. And this is the way that it's always been. But in this TikTok, social media, safe space culture that we live in, we are enabling young men to be weak, fat, gaming, porn-addicted simps. And this is not me turning my nose up at anyone, because I know all of those 5 things from experience. But in order to be able to have the character and the moral compass to avoid those things, and to be able to understand the concept of delayed gratification rather than just instant gratification and just constant hedonism, men need to struggle.
The girl always has to like the guy more than she likes him.
No, I think it works better the other way around.
When the guy likes the girl more?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Why doesn't it make sense?
Because women want a man that's better than them. So how do I look if I'm better than you and I'm sitting here chasing after you? It doesn't make sense. Women only respect men that they chase. It doesn't work the other way around.
Once again, with this like new wave of women, we don't want to keep fighting for a man that if he's going to treat you like an option.
See, here's the thing. We can say that women are changing, whatever, but we're all slaves to our biology. Women are 100% okay with sharing men. It's been that way since the beginning of time. I would say it's even more apparent now. With Instagram, dating apps, etc., a minority of men are getting a majority of the women. And women are okay with that. I mean, walk into a nightclub. It's probably one of the most carnal representations of human nature. All the women are sitting in one section with a bunch of the guys that have the highest perceived status in that social setting, versus all the other guys are out there in general admission struggling. So, women always gravitate towards the best guys, and they're willing to share those guys. Women don't like it when they get criticized. If I go on a podcast and I say, you know what, guys, you need to stop being bums. You need to get your money on point, stop being fat POSs, etc. They actually admire and respect that. People are in the chat, flame emojis, whatever. I go on rants on the guys all the time. I'm sweating, going crazy. It's like I'm delivering a preach. Women rarely get held accountable for their poor decisions. Men do, though. Men have to live in reality. Women are afforded the privilege of being delusional. So when a guy criticizes a woman, oh my God, right? If you don't believe me, think about it. If a dude's fat, we just call him fat. You're a loser, huh? If a woman's fat, love your curves, girl. You go. She's rude and obnoxious. Oh, you know what? They just can't handle you. You're strong and independent, fierce. We have all these terms to cover up female inadequacies, but we don't have these same terms for men.
I mean, I can't help but 100% agree with him. I mean, when I was younger, I was 110 kilos. I used to sleep until like 3 p.m. every day and then stay up all night playing video games and eating ice cream. And let me quickly tell you a story about some of the hot girls that I was messing with at that time. Exactly. There were none. It was Miss Palmer and her 5 daughters. But the point of that story is that the consequences of my inadequacies were so manifestly obvious to me in the sense that I was completely invisible to girls. And I had my guy mates and my brothers tell me this. No one was sitting there cheering for me going, yeah, you go. You stay up all night and play games. You eat that ice cream. You stay in your little cave until 4 p.m. You deserve a queen and you shouldn't settle for any less. No. And if that did happen, it would have been unbelievably damaging for me.
I think it just, a lot of it comes from like narcissistic behavior from men and misogynistic
Women are far more
views.
narcissistic than men are.
No, women can be, so I'm not disputing that.
Far more narcissistic.
But I kind of feel like with men that attain a certain level of status and power, it gives you the opportunity to try and to dominate.
Big difference though.
No, but this is
men
why
earn narcissism.
men do not earn a right to be narcissistic. Like, just shut up.
Men earn confidence and arrogance. Women don't. Women are born with their value. Men must earn their value. So if a man's arrogant, more than likely he's probably accomplished something. When a woman's arrogant, 9 out of 10 times, she hasn't accomplished anything. She just has a bunch of DMs. See, this is the problem that a lot of modern day women have. They lack critical thinking skills. Women tend to go off of their feelings versus what's real. They go off the feels and not the reals. What a girl is supposed to do is come into a man's life, see where he's deficient. Okay, I noticed that you like to go to the gym at this time. I'm going to make sure that you have a protein shake with as many grams of protein as you need.
Just get a PA.
I'm going to make sure that's done, and I'm a deductive problem solver. I'm able to be observant, because that's women's gift, is being observant of social situations. That's why women are socially superior to men. Oh, I thought you were going to say that's sexist. Okay. No, it's never sexist when a guy mentions something about a woman that's positive.
Got him!
So a woman's job is to use that social calibration that they have, that they're superior to men in, and be able to be like, okay, this guy's deficient in this and deficient in this, etc. Let me come in, compliment, make this guy operate. He's already operating at 95%. I'm going to get him to 102. And when you're at a high level already, that extra 2, 3, 4, 5% is what helps you beat the competition.
This guy's dangerous.
Now, many women will listen to that and think, oh my God, what am I? Like your servant, your slave? Why don't you get a PA, like she said? But that's just the reality of things for a high-functioning man. And what he's talking about there is a high-functioning man. He talks about operating at like 95% or whatever. A guy who's operating at 95% is kicking goals in life. And there are so many women out there that would love absolutely nothing more than a highly successful man on a mission. And when you're talking about a guy like that, he's not going to cook 4 nights a week. He's not going to go and do the food shop. He's not going to do the dishes. He's not going to go for sushi with you and your friends. Time is money for those sorts of men. And exactly what Myron just said is 100% correct. It's what they want. They want a woman who can come in and complement their life and take them to that next level.
So here's the thing. You're looking at equality from a human perspective. I'm not saying that men are better than women from a human perspective. I'm saying that men are leaders, so therefore we cannot be equal. When you're on the battlefield, right, and the lieutenant or whoever the commanding officer is on the battlefield, you're not equal to him as, you know, a regular soldier. He is the leader. You're not equal, but there's a reason. There's a hierarchy to dictate order. If the woman is equal to the guy, well, who's going to make the final decision? Nothing gets done by a committee. There always has to be one leader in charge. There's a reason why there's a president, there's a CEO, etc. Both people can't be alphas, as they say. The problem is this. Women are confused about what men actually want. They think a CEO, a boss, a business owner, ambitious, competitive woman. We don't give a shit about none of that stuff. Men don't care about that. And I would argue the more money a man makes, the less he cares about his woman's ability to earn money. Men and women are not the same. Women basically become the very men that they want to attract.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, so men, like, I find that men will say that they like women that have ambition to start. It's what makes...
It's a lie to get laid.
No, I wouldn't say it's even a lie.
It's a lie to get laid.
It's not.
It's a lie to get laid. See, here's the thing. Men will do what gets them access to a woman. If society tells men that it's toxically masculine to want to be a leader in your household and to want to be a leader in your relationship, then for the most part, men won't do that. They will go on a date with a girl and say how attractive it is, how ambitious you are. And you know what? Maybe they do find that really attractive. And when did being a leader as a man become toxic? Every single young man should be striving to develop his leadership skills. And you should certainly be looking to bring that into your relationships. Because guess what, guys? Women like men who can take control of a situation. They like leaders. And a man with good leadership qualities has a lot more respect amongst his peers as well. And it's like, you can't even say that these days without the feminists saying, oh, you just want someone who's dumb and submissive and naked and barefoot in the kitchen. Not at all. I find intelligence extremely attractive. But let me tell you this. You don't have to be a lawyer. You don't have to be the head of HR to be intelligent.
So do you want a relationship?
Monogamous?
So how many girlfriends do you want?
I mean, as many as I can. I mean, I probably have 4 wives. I think I could do 4.
This man wants 4 wives. He's going back 500 years.
4 wives is the way to go, because if one acts stupid, you can go ahead and get another one.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. No guy wants to be monogamous. Man, most guys that are monogamous out of force. If I lined up 100 dudes and I said, listen, man, you can keep your girlfriend, right, while you simultaneously smash these girls and she's not going to care, he's going to take it. Every time.
How that would logistically work, having 4 wives, absolutely baffles the mind. Surely one would be enough. This is where he loses me. Like, imagine raising children in that environment. Who are all these women, Daddy? Oh, they're just my 4 wives. Like, how would you explain to your kids that they have 4 mummies? Honestly, 4 wives, give me a break.
When a woman cries on a man's shoulder, that man doesn't lose attraction and respect for that woman. However, if a man cries on a woman's shoulder, she's inevitably going to lose respect for that man. She might not at that moment. She might be there like, I got you, whatever. But there's something revolting from a female perspective to see their man cry. Now, you might not be someone that's like that, but I've had so many women on my podcast say, I thought I can accept it, but when you cried in front of me, it just changed. No. And the reason why is because like there's this visceral like switch in a woman's head. It's like, this guy's crying in front of me, showing weakness. Damn, this guy can't protect me and provide for me, right? Even if it's not true, even if it's like a moment of weakness, it can show something that like, oh, this guy isn't there. Because like women are designed to look for survival value in men. Men are designed to look for replication value in women.
Yeah, I think it's unfair to like completely rule that out, because I feel like it's fair for a man to be able to do that. You are allowed to have a moment of weakness.
Life isn't fair.
But, okay, life's not fair. But I think you should be allowed your moment of weakness, and I kind of feel like from a woman's perspective, it will be then how you then deal with that.
I think we should end world hunger. I also think that we shouldn't have nuclear weapons and people shouldn't be dying needlessly, etc. But I can't operate on should, could, and would. I operate on what is. And what is that women are inherently unattracted to weak men, and crying and showing vulnerability is a component to that.
No, so you wouldn't cry in front of me?
Absolutely not. Never. You would never see that.
You see, I actually agree with that. But also, there's a big difference between vulnerability and crying. I often find that when you have those conversations, when you're actually vulnerable with people and you tell people about the trials and tribulations of your life and the things that you're going through, those conversations can really bring you closer. But it's different when you have those conversations with your friends, with your boys, and with your partner. Generally, if I've got a big problem, I'll go and I'll speak to my brother or one of my best mates about it, and we'll have a solutions-based conversation. If I want to just go and philosophize a little bit, I'll talk to my mum, or if I had a girlfriend, probably talk to her about it. There's different ways to be vulnerable.
Okay.
Right, so yes or no?
That's a hell no. Unacceptable, disgusting, would never wife that girl up. Recreational use only, guys.
Why a hell no? So what's yours?
What's my body count? What's the term in England when you want to invoke the Fifth Amendment but you can't?
No comment.
No comment. There we go.
So no comment. So is yours over 200? 300. Yours is a lot more.
Sparta.
Wow, and yours is over 300, and then you want to get mad at 30. This isn't even a double standard anymore. Like, he's just taking it too far. I think it's more attractive if a man doesn't, because if you can... No, it is. Like, if you can show discipline, why are you laughing?
Yeah.
No, because if for me, it shows, like, self-control and discipline.
Most men, if left to their own devices, want to have sex with as many women as possible. Men are designed to spread seed. We want quantity. Women are designed to protect their egg for the best seed. Women want quality. We're very different.
No, why not?
I'm not going to let a girl look at my phone.
Why?
Because I'm going to have other girls in there. 100%. The thing is that most women can't handle the truth. So I'm very big on like being upfront and letting her know, listen, I'm going to have other girls, whatever it may be, but you're the main one. And she's got to accept that. But her looking at my phone is just going to hurt her feelings.
So you want an open relationship?
Yeah, open on mine, close on her end.
That's not fair, though.
Life isn't fair.
I don't know. I just kind of feel like the kind of relationship that I want isn't that.
What if I told you women don't know what they want in general?
Some don't.
Most don't.
Some.
This has been statistically proven that women don't know what they want.
Cool. In your little incel culture podcast.
Okay, women don't know what they want, and worse yet, they're not going to be honest about what they want because of strict societal standards where they don't want to look like hoes.
Yeah, because you guys call women hoes.
Rightfully so.
Not rightfully so.
Why can we call guys bums, but we can't call girls hoes?
Why can't a woman just like be sexually liberated? Genuinely, why does she have to be a hoe?
Okay. Do you want to be a hoe?
I don't really care what you think if you're going to say I'm a hoe.
No,
but I'm saying...
No, I'm asking you. I'm not attacking you. I'm asking you this as a question.
I don't want to be labelled a hoe for what you guys paint as a hoe.
Well, let's peel a layer back. Do you want to go out and have sex with a bunch of different men at the same time?
Why would I want to do that?
Okay. You want to hear something magical? Most women don't want to do that. Most girls don't even want to be hoes, yet girls argue and, debate to be hoes. I don't get it. They don't even want to be hoes.
We don't, but it's just a double standard. We don't want you to...
Wham.
Sorry?
Are we going to cry? There's a bunch of double standards that don't benefit men.
You see, that's a really good point there. This whole women's liberation, sexual liberation, you don't want that. Don't act like when you have one-night stands with random guys, there's not a sinking feeling in your stomach when he leaves and doesn't call you back, or when he leaves and doesn't text you the next day. I used to be a PT, and I had a lot of female clients who would confide in me. Anyone who's been a PT will know that it's half personal training, half therapy. And the girls would always confide in me about how bad they felt after these one-night stands. Whereas guys...
Hey, come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on! Ah! Yes!
What would you do if I couldn't cook?
You'd be single.
Can you cook?
That's irrelevant.
No. Can you cook, though?
Can you fight? Let's ask pointless questions.
How is it a pointless question? I'm trying to get to know you.
Because that's your job.
How do you think you've done on the date?
I thought this was supposed to be a date.
Yes. Oh, would you like me to be more submissive? Oh my God. Hi. Would that make you feel better?
It would, but it's okay. It was a debate. It's fine.
Really? So next time, if you want to date...
A debate date.
So if a woman wants to date you, she
Yeah.
just has to come being a pick-me.
Giving a man what he wants, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, of course not.
You're expecting a masculine man that's a leader, ambitious, etc. So I expect a woman that's feminine and submissive. I don't understand why it's a crime for a man to want a woman the opposite of him when women want the opposite of themselves.
Facts. Men like feminine and submissive women. And no, not submissive like a wounded puppy. Submissive in the sense that they love and respect a masculine man. They genuinely appreciate masculinity, and in return, they will embody their own femininity. Men ultimately just want to be respected. And as a woman, if you know how to make a man feel truly respected and make a man feel like the king of his household, you have a superpower. Just something as simple as coming up and saying how proud you are of him and how much you appreciate all the hard work he does to provide for you and your family. That kind of respect puts a man on cloud 9. But it's the opposite these days. Women just get told, you don't need to do anything for a man. Okay, well, don't do anything for a man, and guess what you'll end up with?
Beta male!
Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you would like access to uncensored, exclusive content and to join the Rattlesnake TV community and support the channel so that I can bring the best content possible to you as often as possible, then please consider hitting the link in the bio, rattlesnaketv.locals.com, and support the channel. And if you want to watch another clip, click right here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, if you get value from these videos, then click right here. Until next time, I'm Jake. This is Rattlesnake TV.